WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users.
You're building the empire,
and we'll help you protect it.
because even the most powerful women
Still have trust issues. Welcome back. Welcome back to
welcome.
Trust Issues Podcast. You ready?
I am so ready. We have a lot of good stuff to talk about today.
We do. I'm so excited. So, yes, welcome back to Trust Issues Podcast, where legal meets legacy and money meets mindset. I'm one of your hosts, attorney Urenia Ricks Johnson, and I have my sister here.
Hey, I'm Erica Hall, financial advisor, here to give you some insights and everything you need to be financially sound.
Yes, and we are so excited. We asked some things that we're going to talk about today that's very important and very near and dear to a lot of households, right?
Very much so.
Yeah, so I'm excited to talk about this because, you know, there's some things that we need to do. There's some conversations we need to have, and it's so important that we talk about today. So we're going to talk about open enrollment. We're going to talk about Medicare. We're going to talk about some things that are affecting how people are living and what they need to do based on what's happening right now.
Definitely. This is so timely. And we want to make sure that you have all the information that you need, because we know you've been watching the news. You have all these conflicting pieces of information. So we want to bring everything together so that you know how it affects you and that you're paying attention. You know, I was at a Medicare workshop last week.
Okay.
And it was at my church. Praise God.
Okay,
we had it for our golden age. Yeah, golden agers. Actually, it was earlier this week. This time passed by so fast. It was earlier this week. And I love how all of the seniors are there to get timely information. And the one thing that we push all the time is that you need to pay attention. This is not a set it and forget it type of benefit, right? Every year, your health insurance expires December 31st.
And see, a lot of people don't know that. That's the myth that people just think that it's just going to automatically roll over. It's just going to automatically happen without me having to do anything.
And so I got it set. And, you know, you're getting all those phone calls, you're getting all that mail. And you're like, just stop inundating me. The reason they're inundating you is because your plan is not the same. It won't be the same.
You know, and that's important to know, because, you know, you think about every year and we are bombarded with a lot of information. And a lot of times we're skeptical by nature. And that's the reason why, you know, one of the things with our podcast, which is trust issues.
We don't trust it.
We don't trust
all
it,
those
right?
people calling
so
and sending so much information.
And that's why, scam, right?
Yeah, we do. And that's why I also just want to point out, that's why it's applause to all of our seniors who come and get the information. But in addition to, we need to have some of those young folks in there as well. If you're in your 50s, leading up to the time, if you have a parent or someone that you're helping to make decisions at the time that they need the care, is not the time to explore the kind of healthcare they have, right? And so you want to be informed. So you need to go to these sessions with your parents, with your loved ones, so that you know what's coming, the changes that are coming, because there's some things that you need to take with you to these sessions. And we're going to talk about that today.
And that's important too, like you said. You know, I think that we have to, and we talked about this before on our last segment, just talk about how we need to wrap our arms around each other.
Yeah.
And we need to understand that if it's a concern for you, it's a concern for me.
Guess what I learned?
What you learned?
I learned that my mom, and I learned this from my daughter, my mother can make me a member on her my chart. On her my chart.
Really?
She added me to her my chart.
And what does the member status do for you?
I just get to see her appointments.
Okay.
Right. I get to see what the doctor's results, what the results of the tests were, so we can go through them together because I'm her advocate. I'm helping her with her care, someone she can have discussions with. I'm wrapping my arms around my mom. Right.
See, and that's
Yeah.
important. And I have always been there with my mom, but I had never thought about being added. And so that's another thing. So, Mom, you're listening. That's what I'm about to do.
Add me to your chart.
I'm about to be added to your chart.
Add me to your chart.
I need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But see, that's important. And a lot of times you need that advocate. That's the reason why I advocate for that power of attorney for them, because you need that advocate. You need someone to make a healthcare decision for if you're unable to do so, and also so they know along the journey. And that's important, because if you add them now, if you're unable to make a medical decision, they're already brought up to speed. So they're not trying to figure out, okay, where they at, what did they get before, what was the prescription. So if the doctor is asking you to make a medical decision now that they can't make it, you're up to date with their care.
Definitely.
So you can make an informed decision.
Yeah. So you get mammograms. The results are in a few days. You can see the results. The very important tests. Yep. You can see the results.
Blood work and things like that.
Everything that they want you to be able to see. They can decide what they want to share with you, so on and so forth. But if I believe that once you have stepped up and said, I want to support you in your care, they'll be open and forthwith in sharing. But right now, there are two major open enrollment windows that are officially open. Medicare open enrollment, which started October 15th, usually every year, October 15th through December 7th. And this is where individuals who are typically those who are over age 65 will be choosing their care plan for the coming year. Remember, I said that your health insurance, the plan that you have for 2025 is going to expire December 31st, 2025. What does that mean? It means that all of the components of your plan may change. Some things may remain the same, but there may be some significant changes, and we can't say we didn't know, right? Because here's the opportunity to learn about them.
And that's important. And so why would that be important for someone who, let's say, they have previously been on, this is the automotive city.
Oh, yeah.
Detroit, my parents, that's they have depended upon the big three, and they have great insurance. In fact, my husband works for Ford. Shout out to Ford Motor Company. One stream of income with us, right?
Yes.
So, and so throughout the years, you have a segment of workers that's what they have depended upon, and now they're reaching the age of 65, and now they're throwing this at them, but they're maybe saying, hey, why do I need to do this? Or why do I even need to do this? Because my healthcare right now, I don't want any changes to my healthcare, because my healthcare is the best that it could be.
Yeah.
Do they have to enroll with Medicare, or can they keep it if they're age 65? Do they have to enroll in Medicare?
They may not. Well, with the big three, they may have the opportunity to stay on their company plan.
Okay.
So the rules say that if your employer has so many hundreds of employees or employ so many people, then you may have the option to continue on that plan, and you can have all of the other plans as your supplement.
So as a secondary
as a secondary, but that can remain your primary plan as long as that employer allows for that.
Okay.
Yep. So it's not every employer, but typically, so you'll know in your enrollment packet when it's time to re-enroll whether or not you're being forced onto Medicare as your primary insurance, or if you're able to stay on your employer's plan. And typically that's only reserved for those companies that employ thousands of employees.
Right. So really, really big companies.
Yeah.
And then, so where should that information be coming from? So where should they trust that information? Because like we said, they're going to be getting a lot of different information. So source should they be looking for? Should they be looking for something from their employer? Should they be looking for something from Medicare? What should they be looking for in order to make a decision, make an informed decision?
The information will come from their employer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
information will come from their employer. And employer will say you're able to stay on our plan,
Okay.
or they will say you are no longer eligible for our plan.
Okay. Okay. All right. So that sounds good. So
and you must choose Medicare as your primary care, as your primary insurance. And here is the information for you to enroll in Part A, Part B, and to choose a prescription drug program.
which
Now,
is Part D, right?
Part D.
Okay.
Now, let me
All right.
also throw a caveat in there that even if you are enrolled in your company's healthcare plan,
Mhm.
you can still, at the age of 65, you can still enroll in Part A for free.
Okay, so and Part A is hospital, right?
Yes.
Okay, so hospital stay for a certain period of time, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you want to, would that work in conjunction? Let's say that you need to, let's say the hospital stay under Medicare is 10 days, and I'm just throwing out numbers, and your employer is 5 days. You can opt to stay the additional time under Medicare. Is that what you're saying?
Those plans will work in conjunction.
Okay, so they'll work
those plans
together.
will work in conjunction. However, your employer plan and will help to cover some additional expenses that may not be covered by Medicare.
Okay, so they work in conjunction together.
Yep,
so
they
it's
can
not
work in
either or.
tangent. Correct.
Okay, and that's good. That's good to know. That's trusted information.
Yep.
In everyone. So just know that they can work together, and you're not automatically off if you are facing that situation. But let's say we talk about people. Let's talk to people who, let's say they didn't have insurance before and now they reached age 6, or they didn't have a insurance like with the big 3, and now it's time for open enrollment. What should they be doing, or what information should they be looking for?
Well, it's when we start with Medicare, because we'll talk of the other enrollment period right now is the ACS, healthcare
we'll talk
exchange.
about that.
We'll talk about that a little later. But right now, you're going on original Medicare. You're enrolling in Part A, Part B, and you want to Part A is that hospital insurance. Part B is for the physician care, the doctors, as well as your prescription drug coverage plan, which is going to be Part D. And I'm going to focus on those today. We'll talk about those in depth today. Part C is your supplemental plans. These may be in addition to the other insurance that you have. We won't get into too much of those today because I really want to focus on making sure that you're not missing the window of getting into the plan, to make sure that you must sign up for Part A, you must sign up for Part B. And then when you sign up, you'll be choosing whether or not you want a PPO plan or an HMO plan, based on how much you want to pay for premium.
Okay, so there is a premium requirement with Medicare.
There is a premium required with Medicare. And the premium is pretty much across the board the same for everyone, unless you have over a certain level of income. And then you'll fall into the IRMA category, where it's based on your income. You'll have an income provision. If you have high income, you're still working, you have income over a certain threshold, then you'll be charged a supplemental premium that you have to pay for Medicare.
Okay. All right. Well, that's definitely good to know. And so individuals have during this open enrollment period. So it started October 15th.
And
it ends very soon, right?
Yeah, we got about a week, about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, because it's almost Thanksgiving. So next week, and then the week December 7th is the last day to get into. That's the open enrollment period. There is another period that let's say you sign up for a plan and January comes, 2026 comes, you're in the plan. You didn't do your due diligence, like when you signed up for the plan. So what is due diligence? We'll talk about that in 1 second. But you didn't do your due diligence, which is, making sure that your doctor is covered in this new plan. You didn't, or you didn't foresee that you're going to have a certain procedure. You knew
Right.
you were going to
That
have
may not be covered.
a hip replacement next year, and you didn't think about that, and it's
Okay.
not covered under this new plan, or you didn't take your prescription drugs that you're taking. You didn't put those in to see if those would be covered under this new plan. That first quarter of the year, you do have the opportunity to make some changes.
Okay, which is great to know as well.
Yeah.
So even though the open enrollment period may be over, if you feel like you need to do some changes, the criteria does allow you to go back in
Yeah,
and make some changes after the
yes.
first of the year. Okay,
Yes, you can.
that's a good thing to know as well.
Yeah, so it's important to review, like I said, having your doctors. The due diligence is comparing the plan costs, and some of us are so attracted to like the $0 Medicare Advantage plans.
Mhm.
But again, I want you to be sure that you're reviewing the components of the plan, putting in your doctor's information, because doctors move in and out of network.
Quite a bit.
Yep. As well as those procedures that you may be planning to have, making sure that they're covered. Because if you can move to a plan that will cover your procedure, and that's great financial planning when you consider what it's going to cost you if you have any cost sharing or out of pocket costs.
Yes, and those things are important when you're weighing your options. But let's talk about healthcare.gov or ACA open enrollment. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so healthcare, now this is gonna hit me in my pocket.
Yes. That's entrepreneurs, right?
Oh my goodness, yes.
We
So
got a marketplace.
I'm, I heard you say it a few minutes ago. This used to be my story. I was covered under my husband's plan. When I was no longer covered under his plan,
Mhm.
had to go to Cobra, but Cobra ran out.
And Cobra is expensive, I thought.
We were Cobra is continuation of benefits,
Yes, so it's
reconciliation.
continuation
Yeah.
after employment insurance, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's continuation of benefits when you lose your health coverage.
Mhm.
It's something to bridge you through. So Cobra was introduced before before the ACA, before
Okay.
the health the Affordable Care Act.
Mhm.
So Cobra was something to bridge you through. But now, because of the Affordable Care Act, if you lose your employment, you have what we call a qualifying event.
Okay.
A qualifying
allow
life
you
event
to-
that would allow you to go onto the exchange outside of open enrollment time and get some insurance.
Which is great. I think it's a great option too, because you never know when it may be some downsizing or something that happens with employment, and you may need to just get on there and figure out your coverage.
Yeah, and I know it's up in the air because of the government shutdown and all that stuff. But even though government
Is that over?
Look, next week we'll find out what we will be looking at as far as our coverage and costs, but or what the subsidies may be.
Right.
But for now, open enrollments November 1st through January 15th. November 1st through January 15th. And this is your opportunity to again, your insurance coverage has expired or will expire December 31st, and you must re-enroll or enroll in a plan starting January 1st. That starts January 1st. Now, many of us will stay with the same plan, even though you have to re-enroll, but they show you what it's going to cost you when you go in there and what the comparison will be if you do the gold, the bronze, or the silver plans.
Okay.
Yeah, if you do those types of packages.
Okay. Yeah, so that makes it important as far as just to know what's going on and know where you fall in this, because you fall somewhere within this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Most people fall somewhere in between whether they have an employer plan, they don't have anything, and they need to, if they're over 65 or older, there then this Medicare part, or if they're on the marketplace on the getting coverage through ACA. These dates are important to a lot of individuals. So let's talk about some mistakes that people make when it comes to thinking about Medicare, thinking about what to do and what not to do. Let's talk about some mistakes that people make. What do you think some mistakes that people make in doing this process and during this time?
Well, just from the conversations that I have with folks, I think about my first introduction to all this stuff. It was because I'm in the industry, but
Mhm.
most of us don't pay attention to it until it's time for us to get on we get forced.
Right, right.
To
Like,
get
I
on
want to
these
talk about that right now.
or it doesn't affect me. And
Mhm.
and we don't know the difference between Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare Advantage. We don't know the difference between those plans. So just for definition sake,
Let's do it. Let's define it.
right. Medicare is for those who are over age 65, or if you have a chronic renal failure disease or are deemed disabled, you will have Medicare. Could have Medicare
So
coverage.
they can get it before 65 if they're considered disabled.
If they're deemed disabled, yeah,
Okay.
or renal failure.
Okay.
And then you have Medicaid, which is for low income individuals, no matter the age.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then, so when it comes to the mistakes people make, that was the first one, just not knowing
the difference,
not knowing these plans, not knowing how they work. And I know we say it doesn't affect us. By the time I get there, the plans may change and things like that. But we should know how they change each year. We should know how they change because we want to know what they used to do and what they'll be doing by the time we need it, right? By the time, as well as the other mistake, one of the biggest mistakes people make is not signing up.
Yeah, I just think that, like we talked about, I think our society is full of so much information, so many things that are being thrown at us at one time, and then we think that, well, if I don't do anything, that it's just going to maybe go away or it's not going to affect me, and so I think that, like you said, not acting and not reacting to when you receive it, and just taking that step, even if you don't think that it will affect you negatively, just checking to see it, checking it out.
Get some information because you got 7 months. You have 7 months, 3 months. So if you're turning 65 this year, the year. That's an inside joke. Okay.
Right.
If you're turning 65, just praise the Lord. Praise God for 65.
Hallelujah. Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes. Praise God for that.
You enter your 7-month initial enrollment period. That's 3 months before your birthday month, and then 3 months after.
Okay. So that's how they calculate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this determines how smoothly your Medicare start, and missing it can cause penalty. We don't want penalties.
We don't.
Because not only are the penalties unnecessary, but they're permanent. It's a permanent penalty for the rest of your life.
Which is
so that premium,
a lot.
That premium you were talking about that you have to pay. So every year they set the premium. Let's say the premium is going to be $148 or $150 a month that comes out of your Social Security check or something like that. Or you have to pay it direct pay from your account. And you sign up late, that's a 10% penalty. Forever.
So in addition to
the premium.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That can be, and that can be the difference between you affording other things in life.
Yeah.
Basic is essential, because we're talking about individuals that may be looking at their income being reduced now because of where they are in life. So making sure that you are paying attention to these times of enrollment can be the difference, in how you live.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And so I think we're paying attention because health insurance or health care is very expensive. Healthcare costs are so expensive
in the United States.
We
very,
just need,
very expensive.
That's a whole nother conversation. It's not regulated. I mean, there's some things that we need to know, such as if you're going to have procedures, laws have been passed for us to be made aware prior to of what things are going to cost, not for them to be not for us to be surprised with the bill. We should be made aware, and knowing that means when we're made aware, we are made aware of what our insurance covers. and what
And
it
what it
doesn't.
doesn't cover, not until after we have it and then we receive the bill. That I think that's a lot of times that's a devastating feeling where you had to have something done and then thinking that it was covered and then it was not covered or not covered completely.
Yeah.
And now you end up with, in addition to recovery, you end up with this bill that
This
you have
huge
to
bill.
deal with
Yeah.
as well, which I think that creates a lot of different things going on with individuals. So I just think that system is not good.
Yeah.
Let me just say that.
Listen, when I may have sounded like I was joking, but I wasn't when I was talking
You weren't
about the hip replacement or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that's something, just like we plan a major purchase or a major outlay in our lives,
Mm-hmm.
we can plan. We know we need a procedure. It's not urgent. We can do the due diligence leading up to that procedure.
Yeah, if it's not a mandatory procedure, like you said, if it's something that we can plan out, if it's something that we know, we know we have to have it, but it's not like right away, things like that. Like you said, you can plan those things out.
You can plan it. So by planning, I mean you're getting a quote from this provider and another provider to see what it's going to cost.
So you can actually negotiate that, right? Wow.
And looking at other providers to see what it's going to cost. And then because there is no standardized fee for procedures, we just don't have that in our country. We just don't have,
which
but
is
there can be
another thing that's very disheartening, not to have something that's standard across the board. I mean, because you would think that you would know what that cost would be. If it's like you said, a hip replacement, if it's a knee replacement, if it's just whatever,
rotator
it should be
cuff,
whatever
it may be.
It should be across the board. You should have one doctor charging $5,000 and another doctor charging $50,000
for the same procedure, for the same test.
procedure, same test, same all of that.
But the truth is that's where we are. That's how things are. So what helps us on our due diligence side or on our planning side is that those costs and those fees must be provided to us in advance so that we can make informed decisions.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
That's definitely important. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about prescription drugs. I know that may become an issue for individuals as well, and I know Medicare has a part with that. And what's the part with Medicare with prescription drugs?
Oh yeah, Medicare Part D. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. So Part D is your prescription drug coverage, and very simply, it's one of those where you're just going to make sure you have a list of your prescriptions, things that you are taking. A lot of the plans help you by identifying the over-the-counter, not the over-the-counter, but the delivery. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
The delivery refilling service. So they try to encourage you to for your regular prescriptions to have them on auto refill and get them delivered to your home and getting them in certain quantities.
Yes, so
And
more so that way you can have them for a longer period of time.
Yeah, getting them in certain quantities can help reduce the cost of prescription drugs. And it also matters whether or not it's generic or a name brand. So that's important. But Part D is prescription drug coverage.
Yeah, and I think that's important because plans change and their formulas annually. That's why it's important that we need to check into that as well during that open enrollment period.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. Because so back to me.
Case in point.
Me and us, you and me,
right.
who have to go out to the marketplace, the exchange, to purchase our insurance. What we're going to be looking at is the premiums. What are these premiums going to look like for us this year? And what we are on the fence about is whether or not our premiums are going to be subsidized so that they can be affordable. Dental, some plans package in dental and vision, and even hearing. So we want to make sure that we're paying attention to whether or not we're going to pool them together or purchase those dental and vision plans separately.
Yeah, and those are things. Those are important. Those are all a part of healthcare.
Oh my goodness.
They're very,
Sometimes they act like it's not,
you know,
but it is.
it's
I
important.
need to see.
Yes,
I need to
yes,
see,
yes. Going to the dentist
hear.
is important.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a part. That's a part of healthcare. You know, those things are important, and I think that we need to just bring more attention to the fact of, like you said, with the marketplace. And I think that that's, like we talked about, even with the government shutdown. I think that was a major part of the reason why the government shutdown lasted for so long.
Yeah.
Was because of these subsidies and being able to keep these costs low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for individuals that have to rely on this is a game changer for them to have to think about whether they can afford to still have this coverage or not.
Yeah. So I just want to clarify that if you want that coverage to begin, your new coverage on the exchange, you want that to start January 1st, you need to be enrolled. You need to select your plan by December 15th. That's the day after my birthday. You need to select your plan by December 15th. But you will have a few weeks, just like you have that correction period with Medicare, you will have a few weeks into the year to make some corrections or to get into your plan. If you do it up through January, it'll start the following month. Okay. So we do have some options. I just want to say, I think my biggest emphasis is don't just assume what you have now is going to be available and you're going to have the same coverage for next year. We gotta read those booklets.
No, even though they come in and you see them, we gotta read them and pay attention to them.
Yeah, we gotta read the booklets, and I mean, a lot of these plans have online where you can put in the doctor's names. So okay, yeah, on the healthcare exchange, you can put in the doctor's name, your doctor's name.
Okay.
You can put in your prescription drugs, procedures that you're planning to have, and it will tell you if those things or those providers are covered under that plan.
And that's important. And so is that on the marketplace?
Yeah, that's on the exchange.
Okay. That's on the exchange. And that's a great tool.
Yeah, it is.
And those are things that we need to take advantage of. So make sure that you just go on there and check that out, and just to see if what you have or currently enrolled in covers what's happening in your life currently and what's to come. If you can put that in there.
Okay, and I'm gonna give you a little tip for those of you who stuck around for this hint.
Yes.
This nugget. All right, you ready? If you make a contribution during the month of November to your IRA, that amount will be deducted from your premium calculation.
Wow. That's a good thing to know. Okay, so let's backtrack. Okay, let's backtrack. That's some good information.
That's a nugget.
Okay.
That's a nugget.
So you talked about the calculation for
your premium.
So when they calculate, they look at your income. So what are the things that they look at when you talk about calculations? What do they look at?
Well, they're looking at your income. They're looking at your monthly income. And then for expenses, they'll deduct out, dependent costs, alimony that you have to pay, or child support, or retirement account, IRA contribution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So and that's important, because then now if you're making that contribution, your premium may be lower.
Premium will be reduced if you have those deductions.
And that's good for you now, and then it's good for you in the long run.
It's good for you today and tomorrow. Yes, your retired self will thank you.
Yes. we'll say thank you. And so that is definitely important. And we know that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people are on are dependent upon this insurance coverage. And that's important that you have, first of all, that you have an IRA.
I wouldn't have, yes, that you have an IRA. I wouldn't have health insurance. That was one of my biggest concerns becoming going into being an entrepreneur, is not having the coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you need an IRA.
Yeah, you need both.
Yeah.
You need both. That's just another tip, right? For you. You do need both. So let's just talk about like what things do we want people to make sure that they are taken away from this segment? What do we want them to learn and to make sure that they apply during this time?
Well, I think it's something that you and I advocate all the time. I know that there are so many variables and so many things that happen with our government, with laws that are being passed.
Mhm.
And, if you pay attention to all the rhetoric, you could freeze up and get paralyzed because you just being inundated with so much information.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the financial industry, as well as I know with the legal industry,
Mhm.
we plan based on today's laws.
Mhm.
Whatever the law is today, I don't care what they're saying on the news, and I don't care what they're saying that might come, that might happen. Based on what's on the docket today, what's written into law, that's how we plan. That's the information that we operate with. And that's what you need to know with assuredness and with confidence. Today is open enrollment. So go enroll.
Do it. You can't be, like you said, you can't be so inundated with everything that's happening.
Yeah.
And looking at all those things that we don't realize that right now we don't want to miss this period, because we don't want those penalties to happen.
No.
We don't want those things to keep going, and we don't want to miss the opportunity to have the best type of coverage that we can have, because we also understand that things can happen.
Yeah. Very much
And
so.
if we don't have those coverages, and my motto always is better to have something and not need it, and need it and you don't have it.
And you don't have it. And if you try to look back and say, well, why didn't I enroll? Oh, you really don't remember all of the ifs, ands, or buts that was
Right.
going on, on the news and in the world and all that kind of stuff. And so
Mhm.
you deal with the facts. You deal with what is in place right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's how you got to operate. And so I just want to encourage you, because you know how many times I meet with someone and we're doing their financial planning,
Mhm.
and they say, well, and I say, well, tell me, what is your, what's your pension? What's your, let's pull your social security statement. They say, well, I really don't pay attention to that because it might
don't look
not
at it?
even be there.
Oh.
It might not be there. Well, we plan for what it is today. If you go on to Social Security, you go on to ssa.gov and you type in your name, and it's going to have all of your earnings records from the time that you started working and paying into Social Security. And those payments into Social Security qualifies you they give you credit to qualify for Social Security. So that means that you have paid into the system enough, you've met the requirements, so that now you are owed a benefit. If you go on there, the reason you can log in is because you are considered a beneficiary.
Yes.
You are a beneficiary of a system that you have been paying into for so many periods, and you qualify for this benefit. And what we're here to do is we're here to make sure that you understand the real setup of how the calculations are determined. Like, I always love to bust the myth of I'm getting his. I talked to someone yesterday and they said, well, yeah, if my husband were to predecease me, I'm gonna get his Social Security. No, you're not.
No.
You're going to get your Social Security, and if 50% of his full benefit is more than your calculation, then you'll get a bump up to that number. Right?
And that's it.
You get a bump up to that number. Right. You're not getting his Social Security and he doesn't get your Social Security.
2 checks.
Right. No. Let us get the real information.
See, that's the myth. You think that, hey, listen, now I get 2.
All you're getting is the best calculation, whichever one is the best. The spousal benefit, his or hers, whoever made the most. If 100% of their or 50% of their benefit is more than your 100%, then you get bumped up. But if your 100% is more than their 50%, And you stay at your number. If whoever, if your spouse were to predecease you, you stay at your calculation. You get the
Wow,
best
see?
calculation.
And so people just don't, and those are the things, and we just think that we say those things and
Yeah.
not really knowing the
Yeah.
truth behind it.
Yeah.
And if we can dispel some myths today, provide some truth to this, put some urgency within individuals to understand the
Yeah, very much.
importance of this period, this time that's given to you. And actually, they're giving you this time in order for you to act.
It is. It is. Don't
It's
let the
not
window
for you.
close.
Yeah, it's not for you to say, "Oh, it's there." It's really for you to act.
Yeah, it's open enrollment. It's open enrollment, just like when you were on your job and you had to re-enroll in the healthcare plan. Every October is open enrollment season. Typically at most corporations, open enrollment season. So take advantage of this time. Get in the plan, and make sure that you are reading, doing your due diligence, taking your healthcare information, and that you're planning out what you're going to do for 2026.
Yes, and I just want to shout out because I, my daughter works for she does healthcare administration for this company, and she actually went a couple weeks ago to her grandparents' home to enroll them.
What?
Monica went to
I
her
love
grandparents'
it.
home
Yeah,
and was just
Monica.
like, I gotta go. I was like, what you about to do? She's like, I'm going to my grandparents to enroll them during this time, because
Yes,
she
I love
sees
it.
all the, Monica is the stats person. She knows all the stats of the disparities with healthcare,
Yeah.
all of those things. She'll rattle them off to you. Do you know this percentage? And you're like, okay,
Right.
yes, I get it.
Listen to
But that's a blessing to know. But because of her knowledge, she didn't just take it in for herself or what her job was paying her for.
Right.
She took it a step further. It was just and told her grandparents, okay,
Yeah.
you all need to understand the importance of doing this open enrollment.
Very much.
Period.
This is how you
and
this
that's
is how
what
you
we
advocate.
have to do. That's that call to action of not just looking at this. And I think a lot of times that's what we do. We know the information, but then if you know somebody that needs the information or actually needs for you to be implemented, you have to take it that step further.
Listen, you just talked about the principle of Ezekiel. Ezekiel,
say the word.
God told Ezekiel, if I show you something, watchman, and you don't sound the alarm and the people perish, I'm going to hold you accountable.
Woe be unto you.
I'm going to hold you accountable if you don't sound the alarm after God reveals something to you. And if you become knowledgeable of something and you don't share it, you're accountable.
We're accountable. And taking that ownership of it, and that it just not just be information and knowledge, and just keep it to ourselves. And that's what I commend, one of the young people that did that. She did that on her own, and it was just phenomenal to see her implement.
That's a great
what we're talking about. Just a great example of that's just happening. And she was just like, okay, I know that this is important, and they need to know, because they didn't realize how important it was, because they were just thinking like, hey, it's probably the same thing that I've always had. They're thinking that they're coverage, but they have it's a lot of times they have experienced, over these past couple of years as getting older, things that are happening where they're, having to go to the doctor more, having to experience more things, and understanding that they need to have the right coverage.
Yeah. And unfortunately, what we don't take into account is that, so here's the logic. These companies, they are for-profit companies. They're for-profit companies, insurance companies. They're in the business to make money. And so if they're in the business to make money, come on, we had economics 101. If they're in the business to make money, and the cost of care is steadily rising, what happens? That means that benefits will be reduced. Benefits may get reduced over time, and so we can't just assume that they roll over. But speaking of being an advocate and being a pillar in the community, we want to use this last segment to just switch to some special events that we have going on, because I think that to whom much is given, much is required. And so when you find yourself, like you said, when you have access to resources, access to information, you have a vast network, then you may find yourself where you have to develop some kind of foundation or organization or community development corporation. I don't know. So I want to I want to ask Urena to talk about her nonprofit.
Yes, it's called Corporate Development Institute,
Okay.
and we provide community legal services. We provide financial
Wow.
literacy sessions.
Yes.
And we do a lot of legacy planning, just what we were talking about today, making sure that we have the proper documents in place.
Yeah.
We go to different communities and we educate the communities about the importance of these documents.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes.
And you've been along with me on this journey too. You've been
I'm
definitely
always
helping
promoting
making
it.
sure.
I was just thinking about how I just was thinking about how
Corporate
you had
Development Institute.
you did a what was it at my my church's event, and you gave we did an auction because one of my church members talked about how they won the session with
a free
you.
session, and I provided that legal, and we know that hiring an attorney sometimes can be a barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having access to at least information to make educated decisions.
Yeah.
Is a barrier. And with Corporate Development Institute, we try to eliminate those barriers. So with Corporate Development Institute, or CDI, which is the acronym, is www.cdicorp.org.
Okay. And you have a big event?
CDIcorporate.org. I'm sorry, CDIcorporate.org.
All right. So CDI, you have a big event coming up.
Yes, November 29th is called Couture with a Cause.
Couture with a Cause. Wow, that sounds exciting.
And we are telling individuals that you are coming for the fashion, but you're staying for the cause.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going to have some latest fashions to be displayed, and we actually have one of the companies that gets advertised on this station, which is Elmar Furs. They're going to be there.
Okay.
We're having a couple other local designers that are going to be there.
Yes.
We're going to have some hat designers. We're going to have some jewelry. We're going to have some great new things and exciting things. Because, Metropolitan Detroit has some great people, great designers that are just right here in the Metropolitan Detroit area, right?
Oh, come on. We are renowned.
Some dressers,
yes,
right?
We are renowned.
So we're going to have some great fashions that we're going to display.
Yes.
But also on that day, we're going to talk about our cause.
Okay.
And Corporate Development has a great cause that we are making sure that we provide education and information to communities and individuals for them to make great decisions when it comes to the law, when it comes to financial decisions, as well as just providing them with mentorship for young people.
I love it.
To make sure that they make educated decisions. We know as we grew up, we didn't really have a blueprint of what it meant to be in corporate America, what it meant to be, a young Black person growing up and actually experiencing certain things.
Yeah.
So if we can give back and provide that information and education, that's what Corporate Development does.
That's
we're
wonderful.
Excited to do that. And I'm excited about my partners because you're one of my partners that are coming along the journey with us. And we're excited to just be able to provide this this event. Is going to take place at the North Rosedale Park Community Center.
Oh yeah.
Right there in Rosedale Park. We're going to be right in the heart of Detroit. And we are going to have a great fashion show. But like I said, we're going to talk about the cause of Corporate Development Institute. And we're also going to talk about how you can join us, how you can help us to reach more individuals, to reach more communities, and educate them with information concerning the law and concerning financial literacy.
Well, that is great. So make sure that you join us November 29th. We're going to make sure to put all of the information in the chat so that you can purchase your tickets. I know it's going to be exciting. I'm excited because you gave me the opportunity to give away my my scholarship.
Yes, so tell us a little bit about your scholarship.
Yeah, so last year for my 50th birthday, yep, I tell my age.
That's it. That's it. You look good, girl. And it was a great party.
Yes. So every dollar that people gave me for my birthday, my company matched the dollar, and we put together a selection committee. We selected 3 recipients for the Wealth Generation Pathways Scholarship. I call it the Pathways because the 5 ways that you could apply for this scholarship is if you grew up in my hood.
That's it.
Fountain Court Community
Okay.
Fountain Court Co-op. If you went to my high school, Cass Tech.
Cass Tech. Okay,
If
shout
you
out.
are a member of my church, Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church. If you are a child of one of my clients, EH Wealth Advisors, or if you are an extended, can't be a part of my immediate family, but an extended family member. So these 5 pathways, you could qualify. We had students to apply. We have 3 recipients who won the scholarship, who we're going to award the scholarships to. And we don't have an event. And so you invited me. I'm so thankful.
Yes.
Thank you so much to do the big check and show the students. And so we got the students to do some videos, and we're going to promote and talk about that all throughout social media. So thank you so much for including us in the event. I'm excited because this is what it's all about. This is what we do. I knew I may not have had a blueprint for how to get there, but I'm here.
That's it. That's it.
I'm here, and I want to show somebody else how to get here.
And that's so true. And then, we're always better and we're stronger together.
I love that.
And this event is not just going to be about just CDI displaying, but it's going to be about our partners and how we can expand our reach and how we can reach more individuals, because, the Bible is clear about 2 is better than 1 when it comes to and that power of agreement. And we have had great agreement with us coming together, even with trust issues. So I'm just so excited about what God is doing when it comes to Corporate Development Institute with your scholarship giveaway, as well as with our other partners, because I just feel like it's going to be great things that we're going to do in 2026 for the kingdom.
Very much. I see bigger things.
Amen.
I see growth and expansion, because not only are we greater together, but by many advisors will we prosper.
Amen.
And so if you would like to connect with us, Trust Issues, we'd love to connect with you. We'd love to expand our network. If you're looking to be on the show, we'll put that link in the chat as well.
Yes.
We just want to give a shout out to one of our greatest partners that we have developed a great relationship with, and that's WVTC Detroit.
Yes, they have definitely always been supportive of us, and they gave us a platform.
Yes,
right.
Thank you so much.
We could be ourselves, and we can promote what we do, but also we know that we are women of God, and we're promoting the kingdom of God, and that's what the blessing is with being a part of this network as well.
Yeah. I think God had this in mind. So
yes.
So I'm so glad we get to take advantage of this opportunity. And thank you to all of you who are watching, who are tuning into the show, who are supporting, sharing, and providing comments, asking questions. Listen, you need us on your team. Put us on your team, the dream team. By more advisors, you'll be able to make some sound decisions, and you won't have to be paralyzed because you're not quite sure which road to take or how to move. We'll be glad to work with you.
Yes, and we're so excited that you come along the journey with us, that you tune in with us, and that you follow us. Make sure that you continue to tune in with us. Make sure you continue to follow, like, and share. We hope to see you at the event on November the 29th, because we are so excited in order to provide this information and to collaborate with you. And we're looking forward to meeting you, collaborating with you. If you want to come to the event and meet us in person, we will be at Couture with the Cause on November the 29th as well, from 6 to 10. We're going to be there, and we are going to be talking about Couture with the Cause, but we're also going to be talking about trust issues, talk about the collaborations. It's just going to be a great evening for us to share. So I'm excited.
This has been a great year.
Yes,
this has been a great year. So I think we got we had some goals for this year, getting our viewership up. We got one more episode, I think, before the end of the year.
Yes.
And so we want to go out with a bang. Let us know what you want to hear. going into 2026. I know we're going to talk about making sure you wrap up this year, wrap it up tight.
Yes. So our next episode.
Yes,
we're gonna
wrapping
talk
up the
about
year,
that.
some things you need to make sure that you close out the year with, getting ready going into the next year, because this is the year, this is the end of your fiscal season, right? No matter what it is that you do, according to the IRS, this is the year. This is the end.
Right. Whether you think it's the end or not.
This is the end of your
they have declared it to be the end in December 31st.
And you got, you have the end, you have a few days to do some things. Do some things like getting some losses off your books, doing some Roth conversions.
Or if you want to donate.
Yes, donations. There's some things.
Couture with the cause.
So we'll close out with all of that. So until next time, thank you so much. We love you. Yes. Thank you. We are just so excited because nothing but higher heights and greater from here.
Yes, and we're excited. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight, and we look forward to seeing you. Make sure you continue to like and share our episodes. Continue to come along on the journey with us, because we're going somewhere, right?
That's right. So thank you for joining us on this live. So from us at Trust Issues, protect your health, protect your wealth.
Yes.
Protect your legacy, and we'll see you next time. And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We're thankful for you.
Hello, everybody. This is Brandon Waddles, the son of Detroit, Michigan. Just telling you all to make sure that you keep on watching WVTC Detroit.
WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit thanks the following supporters for their generous gifts of support to keep this station and these broadcasts coming your way. God bless you, we thank you, and we love you. This is WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit.
Okay.
You ain't changing your mind now, have you?
We're about to be one big happy family.
I'm just hoping I can trust you to return my love.
I mean, as much as I know how to love.
Did you sleep with them?
No! This is toxic.
Don't become the thing that hurt you.
And what is that?
Bitterness.
I really needed you when Daddy died.
Girl, look, there you go with what you need. This not about you. Didn't you find God for that? I'm not here to meet your needs.
I understand that you love her. I get it. But like this, right here, this is toxic. Toxic? Man, who's you talking to like that?
And we're here at the Davidson High School for the first game of the season.
Look, I'm sorry, sir, but we will all run it for our lives.
Hope you enjoy being used, man.
Man, what? No. You better find someone else to play with, bro.
Come right. You both know you ain't about to hit nothing but a high note. You better sit down.
My Bible tells me that the wages of sin is death.
That's wages, honey, not wedges.
I know what this says, Miss Sunday School teacher.
I see that one is coming to the altar.
Now is the time.
Singing and praying with my mind.
Cut!
How you gonna cut singing and praying?
Hey y'all, what's up? This your girl Coco. I need y'all to check out WVTC Radio Detroit. Yes, WVTC. Say it with me. WVTC Radio Detroit.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.